delivered to FEMA storage areas, which have been ordered by the Centers for Disease Control. And the federal government has prepared enough bird flu vaccinations ready and waiting to use on all of us. George, in your view, how do these activities by the federal government fit into their overall plans for the American people? And what do you see as the time when they will use their biological warfare on us all relative to their overall agenda of this country's total destruction?
Well, first of all, thank you for your kind words.
Yes, sir.
Boy, nobody knows the exact dates, but we do know that the federal government, which is not really our government, this is not our government, it is a corporation controlled by the Federal Reserve, has already been poisoning us intentionally through the vaccines, through the chemtrails, through the fluoride in our water, through the misinformation, and on and on and on and on, to weaken the people. And as Thomas Paine said, the beacon of freedom in the United States can be the beacon of freedom for the whole world, and the Illuminati do not want this. And so they are smart enough. Now, the neocons were really pushing the schedule. Now, Obama, I don't know how fast they're going to go, because
they're going with the financial implosion.
They're going with the financial.
They're using that stage crisis.
And this situation, we are going to have massive, massive debt deflation for a much longer period of time than what we're being told, because there is no way in the world that even if they issue $20 or $25 trillion of this bailout money, can they sop up all of this derivative debt. And that's just a fact. And they're just putting plasma into a dead man right now, trying to get this thing going. Unless they get the toxic elements out of the system, the economy cannot recover. That's just a fact. Now, when the real shinola is going to hit the fan, it's hard to tell. But right now, today, as we speak, the G20 countries are meeting, and they're planning on a world currency, a world bank, and world government. And this is not theory, as you know. I mean, it sounds like you have really, really done your homework. And the question is that we know that it's coming. All you have to do is extend the lines of what's there. The question is what can you and I and Alex and the others do to derail this train? Because we believe in something better for our families, better for our grandchildren and our children, but also for ourselves. And I guarantee you that if enough good people come together, we can derail this thing, and that we can shift to a higher level of consciousness.
But the biggest issue is we have to face the horror. It's hard for people to admit we have this criminal of an elite.
Absolutely.
And that this is really happening. It's hard to believe as a parent that there are really people who want to kidnap your kids and go torture them.
Well, the mind control is just so amazing. And there is a psychological term called cognitive dissonance. And it is a very, very real psychological thing, that when a person invests their time, energy, or money into a concept and then they see it's wrong, is that physically they have a very difficult time of changing courses. It's just like in the movie The Matrix, when Neo goes into the construct and he realizes this is all an illusion and that this is all just, it's not what it appears, and he comes out, he gets physically sick. And I remember when I first became aware of the New World Order, I became physically ill. It was that big of a shock to my system. And as Winston Churchill said, almost every man at some time in their life is knocked down by the truth. 99% of them get up, dust themselves off, and walk away like nothing has happened. 1% will really figure out what's going and do something about it. And it sounds like, my friend, that you are aware of what's going on, and you and your friends are doing something about it. And it's going to take the combined work of the people all over this country, all over this world, to say no to this insanity.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much for the call. Sean, we got to hurry here. Sean in Minnesota, go ahead.
Hey there. Good day to you, Alex and George. You guys made a profound remark about how under the globalist system of thought they believe that they are obligated to warn the public, and And I want to ask both of you guys, have you seen this comic series that's been published in the London Telegraph called Blackjack?
Yeah, Steve Watson's written a 3-part series on Blackjack where the New World Order stages all the terror attacks, nukes going off to bring in world government, and they won't say where it came from. Just a major paper just publishes this in a way of letting you know we're going to set off nukes, we're the government, and the government's going to stage the attacks.
Absolutely true.
I find it very strange that the paper does not disclose the name of the author.
No, and they do on all the other times. Guys, pull up Blackjack during the break after we show some of the visual ads for the sponsors. We'll come out with Blackjack, the comic. It's not a comic; it's just a visual thing. Martial law too. They show you martial law going to FEMA camps.
George Pratt, his partner and brother.
All right, let's try to get in as many callers as we can right now. Let's talk to Shane in Denver. Shane, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex. Thank you so much for having me. I'd like to cover real quick Stanley Meyer's HHO Energy. It's we can convert these cars to run off water. We're using stainless steel jars and stainless steel and mason jars.
Okay.
And this has been an application since the early 70s. There's actually a video surfing.
No, I've seen it, but I mean, do you have any comments or questions for George Humphrey?
Actually, my main concern with the G20 summit is they're mass producing Terminator seeds and providing them to third world countries in Africa, and it's going to cause a mass starvation. On your video with the Obama deception, I noticed on Rockefeller's car, he was talking about ethanol. That's going to cause mass starvation throughout the United States as well. It's not an alternative. It's horrible. You have to harvest the organs of the plant. You're only
this caller's real low. Can you guys boost him up for me? Maybe he's fine on air, but I'm having trouble hearing him. Interesting, sir. I don't mean to cut you off, but I have a caller who disagrees. They go to the head of the line. Mark in Colorado, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, I think you and George are doing a wonderful job. I think you have a huge hole in your intellect. You compromise way too much with people who claim to be atheists, Gnostics, and agnostics. Both of you need to buy and read a book called The Answers Book 2 from AnswersInGenesis.org and quit the compromising. God bless you for your work, and I'm hanging up.
All right. Look, we're not compromising, but I always have a group call me up and say, you got to bash Jews, or you got to bash Catholics, you got to bash blacks, you got to bash Hindus, you got to bash this. I got a news show, and I'm here doing a news show. It's not one of these little specialty shows where people just cover one thing all day. I'm here covering world government being set up and cancer viruses in the vaccines and chemtrail spraying and giant FEMA camps being built, admittedly with plastic coffins and people in denial. And a guy called up saying that we were saying that all atheists were running the New World Order. We said, no, we're saying the elitist claim they're atheist. So, I mean, there's so much intellectual dishonesty out there or simplicity. It's like, people always email me and they say, you have a sponsor selling tasers, but you say it's wrong when the police taser people. No, I'm saying it's wrong when a pregnant lady doesn't move quick enough and they taser. Or the guy's on the ground going, don't taser me, bro. It's the misuse of it. It's like people that are anti-gun say, we got to ban all guns because people get killed with them. No, it's the misuse of the gun. I mean, I'm not against police having guns. I don't want them misusing them. I'm not against citizens having guns. I don't want them misusing them. That's the whole issue. And so I get that. It's like there's no psychological, differential to, because the other guy thought we were saying he was part of the New World Order, and then the other guy thought we were endorsing atheism, George. I mean, you can't win.
That's the price of freedom sometimes. And the point is that if we do live in a truly free constitutional republic, we have to allow different points of view. And that's just the way it is. And that's a great thing. Having these discussions and these debates are great. And at the same time, as Alex says, we've got more important fish to fry. There's a bunch of folks out there who are getting ready to create a world government and try and really stuff us. And that's where I've got my attention.
Now, we're out of time. Jason Bermas will be sitting in tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then he'll be back tomorrow night, 9 to midnight. So he'll be on tonight, the Info Warrior, 9 to midnight. be sure and join him for that. Please tell folks about Jason's show. It's getting really popular. Got quite a few stations picking it up. If stations are listening, we pick up my show. We pick up the Info Warrior. Check it out, 9 to midnight Central at GCN, up there on the Star Guide satellite. Details at the Info Warrior or InfoWarrior.com. George Humphrey, I want to thank you for coming in, brother.
Alex, it's so great to be here, and I'll tell you, all your friends, go and get the Obama Deception right now.
I really am proud of it. Get the DVD at Infowars.com. God bless you all.